Good day, everyone. I am Thrisha Nicole Tendero from grade 10 Calamian, and in this video, I will be explaining to you the three different kinds of plate boundary, the process that happens along to these boundaries, and what type of land formations happen in this plate boundary. There are three types of plate boundary. First is the convergent plate boundary, second is the divergent plate boundary, and third is the transformable plate boundary. Let us first talk about the convergent plate boundary. Convergent plate boundary is when the two plates are moving towards to each other. Now, there are three subtypes of convergent plate boundary. Oceanic to continental convergence. When the oceanic crust and the continental crust move towards each other, the oceanic crust will undergo subduction. This is because the oceanic crust is less density than the continental crust. The continental crust is buoyant and less dense. That's why the oceanic crust is forced to go underneath the continental crust. When the oceanic crust is forced to go deeper, the crust will melt and will turn to a magma. Now, if the magma is lesser in density than the other material rocks that surrounds it, the magma will rise up and will turn to volcanoes. Volcanoes is formed in the continental to oceanic convergence. Oceanic to oceanic convergence. When the oceanic crust and oceanic crust move towards to each other, the older one will undergo subduction. The older one is denser than the younger. That's why the older is forced again to go down. And because of these, we can see the formations of volcanoes. Volcanic Island is formed. The continental to continental convergence. When the continental and continental crust move towards to each other, neither of them will undergo subduction. This is because they are both buoyant. So when they are moving towards each other, it creates force, it creates pressures that force of these plates to go up. We can see the formation of mountain ranges, and while these happen, we can sense an earthquake. Divergent plate boundary. Divergent plate boundary is when the two plates are moving apart from each other. There are two types of divergent plate boundary. First is happen to oceanic, and second is happen to continental. When a divergent boundary happens to oceanic lithosphere, the rising of a convection current happens. When a volcano erupts below the sea, it rises up and it passes to mid-ocean regions where there is fault or fissures. So the magma will pass and it will spread to the floor until it reaches the side. It hardened and cooled, and when it cooled, we will have a new ocean floor. old one will go sideways and the process cycle. When a divergent boundary happens to continental lithosphere, when these continental crust will part ways, it causes a lot of breaking. So we'll see some sort starts to form and we'll get some earthquakes. Over time, the surface will already get thin out and it's gonna break down to allow some partial melting to happen. It is very similar to oceanic, but the difference is the crust. And eventually we'll see in this big continental crust the Rift Valley. Transform plate boundary. This is when the two plates are grinding up and down to each other, and because of this grinding, frequent earthquake is happened, and transform fault is formed. Note, the transform fault can be formed both to oceanic and continental lithosphere. And that's it. I hope you learned something from my video.